Welcome to Simply Debbie Sue's Southern Whispers. Step into a world where front porches hold secrets, faith carries folks through the hardest days, and the mountains whisper stories only the heart can hear. I invite you into tender moments, gentle humor, and the kind of Southern warmth that feels just like home. Welcome in, friends. March is here, and I've been working on some good stories for you. I'm glad you're settling in with me today for another Southern Whisper. So let's get into the introduction of this story. Some stories tiptoe into a family's memory without warning. They don't wait for holidays or special occasions. They just happen on a dusty back road when the sun is warm, the windows are down, and everybody's thinking about supper. Years later, nobody remembers what they bought in town that day, but they sure remember the turtle. So this week's story is called The Great Turtle Escape. The Delphi family had spent the morning in town, picking up feed, flour, and a few things Mama insisted they needed, even though Daddy wasn't convinced. The old station wagon was loaded down, the radio was humming low, and the whole family was ready to get home and put their feet up. In the back seat sat Susie, her older brother Eugene, and her little sister Annie, who was busy swinging her feet and asking for a snack every 5 minutes. As they rounded the curve on Sweet Gum Road, Daddy suddenly leaned forward, squinting. "Well, butter my biscuit," he muttered. "Would you look at that?" Annie popped up like a jack-in-the-box. "What is it? A deer? A snake? A bear?" "No, sweetheart," Mama said, peering over her glasses. "It's a turtle, a big one." Big was an understatement. This turtle looked like it had been around since Moses floated down the Nile. Its shell was wide and dusty, and it sat smack dab in the middle of the road like it owned the place. Daddy eased the station wagon to a stop. "We can't leave him here. Somebody'll come barreling around this bend and turn him into a road pizza." Mama nodded. "Poor thing. He's just trying to get to the other side." Annie wrinkled her nose. "Why? There's nothing over there but weeds." "Turtles have their reasons," Mama said, "same as people." Daddy hopped out and motioned for Susie. "Come on, sweetheart. I need you to stand here and keep an eye on him while I run home and grab a bucket." Susie blinked. "Why me? Why can't Eugene stay? He's bigger." Daddy shook his head. "Eugene's got chores waiting at home. Wood ain't going to stack itself." Eugene puffed up proudly. "That's right. I'm essential." Annie chimed in. "Can I stay with the turtle?" "No," Daddy said quickly. "You'd try to ride it." Anne shrugged. Maybe I would." Then Daddy started rubbing his chin and said, "You know, we could take him home and make turtle soup." Mama whipped her head around. "Absolutely not. That turtle has his reasons for wanting to get to the other side." Daddy sighed. All right, no soup." Susie stared at the turtle, horrified. "Thank you, Mama." Daddy was already climbing back into the truck. "Just don't let him wander off." "Wander off," Susie sputtered. "He's a turtle." But Daddy was already pulling away. Mama was waving cheerfully out the window, as if leaving your child alone with a prehistoric creature was the most normal thing in the world. The moment the truck disappeared around the bend, the turtle turned its head towards Susie. She took 3 careful steps back. "Now listen," she said, pointing a shanky finger. "We're going to respect each other's space. You stay over there, and I'll stay over here, and we'll get along just fine." The turtle blinked slowly, as if considering her terms. Then, without warning, it began to move. Not toward her, thank the Lord, but towards the tall weeds on the far side of the road, and for a creature known for its slowness, it moved with surprisingly determination. "Hey, no, stop!" Susie squeaked, tiptoeing after it. "Daddy said to stay put." The turtle did not care what Daddy said. It marched, slowly but steadily, straight into the weeds. Susie hovered at the edge, peering in, but not daring to follow. "Sir, ma'am, whatever you are, you need to come back. Please." The weeds rustled once, twice, then fell silent. By the time Daddy's station wagon rumbled back up the road, Susie was standing with her hands on her hips, looking like she'd aged 10 years. Daddy hopped out with the big blue bucket. "All right, where's our turtle?" Susie pointed weakly at the weeds. "In there. He left." Daddy stared at her. "Sweetheart, I told you to keep him from getting away." I tried, Daddy, but he's sneaky and fast, and he kept looking at me like he knew I wasn't going to touch him. Daddy pushed aside a few weeds, squinting. Well, I'll be. He's gone. Mama leaned out the window. Did y'all get him? Daddy shook his head. Nope. Turtle outsmarted us. Andy giggled. Maybe he's going home to tell his turtle friends about us. Eugene added, probably bragging about how he escaped. Susie looked at Eugene and said, I thought you had chores to do. Mama laughed. Bless his heart. Susie crossed her arms. I hope he does tell his friends, and they appreciate how brave I was. Daddy ruffled her hair. You did good, sweetheart. Sometimes critters just got their own plans. As they drove away, Susie looked back at the weeds, half expecting the turtle to poke his head out and wave goodbye. And maybe, just maybe, he did. So the reflection of this story is life has a funny way of reminding us that not everything can be controlled, captured, or carried home in a bucket. Sometimes the things we try to manage slip right through the tall grass, leaving us with nothing but a good story and a lesson wrapped in laughter. Maybe that old turtle was a reminder that God's creatures and God's plans move at their own pace. We show up, we try our best, we stand guard even when we're scared, and sometimes the turtle still walks off into the weeds. But the memory stays, the laughter stays, and the story becomes part of the family, just like every small, ordinary moment that turns into something unforgettable. I hope you like that story this week and come back next week for another one. May these stories that I have written wrap around you like a well-loved quilt. May they remind you that God is near, hope is steady, and joy often comes softly, like a whisper on a southern breeze.